You ever had one of those neighbors who shows up at your door all smiles and cookies, but you can just feel there's something else going on behind those perfectly polished teeth? Yeah, that's how my peaceful retirement in a wooden cabin turned into the wildest neighborhood circus you've ever seen. All because the HOA president, let's call her Karen Mitchell because, well, of course, decided I was her next project. The woman had the gall to show up one day with some guy in a suit and a badge, clipboards in hand, acting like my property was about to be condemned or auctioned off. I locked my gate, slapped a for sale $1 billion sign out front, and let the chaos commence. So let's rewind for a second. Tuesday morning, early October sun just coming up. I'm in my shop finishing a jewelry box for my granddaughter. Next thing I know, this syrupy voice floats through the window. "Hello there, neighbor." I step outside, sandpaper still in hand, and there's Karen. Early 50s, blonde hair set like a helmet, offering cookies with a smile so fake you'd think she practiced in the mirror. "I'm the HOA president. Just wanted to welcome you." She's not really looking at me. Mind you, her eyes are scanning every inch of my property, like she's counting up what's worth what. She starts in about my rustic cabin, says maybe I should modernize, increase the value. I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, and she gets this little twitch, like she's hiding a sneeze. Pretty soon she's grilling me on my property taxes. How long I plan to stay, each question wrapped in a big bow of fake concern. But I've been around the block enough to know a setup when I see one. After 15 minutes of this, she finally leaves, but I'm already on edge. And wouldn't you know, as soon as she's out of sight, my neighbor, Mrs. Collins, retired librarian, 70 years old, sharp as a tack, leans over her garden fence and says, "Watch your back. That woman's driven out 3 families already." Apparently, after Karen takes an interest in someone's property, it's not long before they're gone. Always some property trouble cropping up. That night, I'm looking at my street with new eyes. Half the houses look like they came off the same real estate assembly line. No character. Fresh paint, perfectly boring. I hop on the county record site, and sure enough, every home sold in the last 2 years was bought by the same investment company, and Karen, she's the agent on almost all the deals. Below market value, too, like the owners couldn't wait to get out. Suddenly it clicks, she's not just a busybody, she's running a hustle, and I'm next on her list. Only thing is, she doesn't know I used to do investigations for a living. Her mistake. Next morning, Karen's creeping past my house in her SUV, slowing down to snap pictures of my mailbox, my garden, even my old truck. By lunch, I get my first HOA violation mailbox, painted the wrong shade of black. Yeah, apparently black can be wrong. I pay the $50, snap a picture, and log it in my notebook. 4 days later, garden encroaching on the property setback, $75. Then a noise violation for woodworking, even though I only use my tools during the day and my shop's nowhere near anyone else's house. Each time the complaints are signed by folks whose homes got snatched up by that same investment company. By the 4th violation, architectural inconsistency, $150 fine, I'm actually a little impressed. She's got creativity, I'll give her that. But see, I'm a documentation guy. I photograph every notice file, every payment cross-reference, every bylaw. I even start a journal just for this Karen saga. She thinks I'm a clueless retiree, but she's about to get a crash course in Don't Poke the Bear. Mrs. Collins keeps me posted too. Apparently, Karen's finances are a mess after a nasty divorce, and she's desperate to keep her house. Suddenly, all those quick sales start to make sense. Then comes the big one. An official county assessment scheduled for Monday notice arrives Thursday. No 48-hour warning, like the law requires letterhead that looks like it was printed off a free template site. That's when I start to grin. I send a message to an old buddy in government oversight. "Got something interesting out here in suburbia, care to check it out?" and start compiling every scrap of evidence. This assessment is about to be the best show in town. Monday, 9 a.m., a beat-up sedan rolls up, out pops a guy in a suit that fits like he borrowed it from his big brother, clipboard badge, and a name tag that says Rick Santos. Right away, he's spouting nonsense about the county property assessment building department, which for the record doesn't even exist. His forms are for building inspections, not property values, and his ID looks like a kid's arts and crafts project. I start asking questions. Where'd you train? What department? What's your methodology? And he squirms, makes up something about assessment school. The kicker, he values my cabin at $850,000. I bought it for $320K, which would bump my taxes so high I'd have to sell. Meanwhile, I spot Karen's car parked down the block she's watching, making sure her pet inspector doesn't screw up. Rick finishes his charade, hands me a report that wouldn't fool a child, and hightails it out of there with Karen right behind. But I've got the whole thing recorded, cameras rolling audio too. Let's just say I had receipts. Next morning I hit the hardware store, biggest gate lock they've got, plus a sign, bold letters, for sale, plush $1 billion, recently valued by county expert Rick Santos. You could see it from Mars. Karen sees it and loses her mind, pounding on my gate, demanding I open up. Are you here to make an offer? I call out. The look on her face, priceless. She shouts, nobody will pay $1 billion, and I tell her, hey, your guy valued it high, must be worth it. Right on cue. Rick rolls up, sees his name on the sign, nearly faints. The two of them try to play it off like they barely know each other. Karen starts climbing my fence in a skirt, gets stuck like a human piñata. Rick has to help her down. Neighbors come out. Mrs. Collins brings a lawn chair. Some folks bring popcorn. It's a regular block party, only with more schadenfreude. By now, people are filming, laughing, asking me what's really going on. I tell them to keep an eye on the neighborhood Facebook group. Next day, Karen returns with reinforcements. It's Rick again in a construction vest, this time pretending to be a building inspector. He's fumbling with fire inspection forms, trying to look official. I recorded upload both visits to the neighborhood group with the caption, "Suspicious county officials visiting our neighborhood." Comments flood in sudden tax hikes, mysterious inspections, more people saying they'd been targeted. Not everyone believes it at first, but the division just makes the drama juicier. Eventually, someone calls the cops. Officer shows up, asks for Rick's ID, same crayon quality badge, same nonsense. The officer can barely keep a straight face. Maybe call the county to verify, he suggests, which only makes Karen shriek louder about obstruction of official business. I say, no official contact, just these folks with their clipboards. Cop shrugs and leaves. But the videos go viral, shared in every local group, picked up by a reporter, and the story starts spreading. Within days, the county assessor's office calls me directly. They've had complaints, seen my footage, and want to meet. When the real officials show up, it's clear they mean business. Real badges, proper forms, not a Rick or Karen in sight. They take one look at Rick's paperwork and go straight to investigation mode. Turns out 8 other families had been scammed by fake county officials. Saturday, we hold a neighborhood meeting. 30 people show up, reporter in the back, Karen in the corner looking like she wants to melt into the floor. I lay it all out, fake violations, bogus inspections, every sleight of hand, every dollar scammed. The room explodes. Some want Karen out on a rail, a few diehards defend her, but most are just stunned at how deep the scam runs. Karen tries to play victim, blames Rick, blames bureaucratic mix-ups, but every excuse makes it worse. When I reveal her ties to the investment company, her commissions, her profit from every forced sale, the room flips. Vote comes down, she's out barely, but out. Then the real twist: state investigators had been watching. My video gets picked up by the media, and suddenly our little HOA drama is statewide news. By Sunday, Mrs. Collins is at my door, grinning ear to ear. Come see this, she says. 3 black SUVs outside Karen's house, county sheriffs, unmarked sedans, the whole 9 yards. Agents hauling out boxes, Karen screaming in a bathrobe, Rick cuffed in the back of a cruiser. Turns out the scam was part of a bigger operation, multi-state millions stolen, and my footage tied it all together. Karen and Rick end up pleading out. She gets 2 years. Rick gets community service. The investment company gets dissolved and its money used to help the families who got fleeced. The real magic, though, is what happens after. The HOA elects new leadership, yours truly, believe it or not, and we start over. No more phony violations, no more drama, just real community. Block parties, garden clubs, folks stopping by to chat, even Mrs. Collins becomes a bit of a local legend. My sign comes down replaced by a new one, honest work, scammer-free guarantee. You know, sometimes the best revenge isn't getting mad, it's building something better, right, where someone tried to tear you down. And maybe, just maybe, karma works best with a little help from a security camera and a stubborn old man who won't back down. But let me ask you, what would you do if the feds rolled up in front of your neighbor's house? Think Karen got what she deserved, or was it all just too much? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear where you stand on justice, HOA headaches, and what really makes a neighborhood strong.